Hey everybody, today we're going to do an overview of the JLA Book 1. Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. As always, I'm your host, Brent. Today we're doing an overview of JLA Book 1, which does kind of cross over with this old DC reprint of JLA Volume 1 that I know you've seen behind me on my shelf in the video. I have 1 through 9 of these, and they have the newer logo on them. Like, this is not that old. This one collects 1 through 9 only of the JLA Morrison stuff. It does have Secret Files number 1. This new book, which is why I picked it up, has a whole lot more. So again, this just has 1 through 9, Secret Files and Origins. This one does not have the Midsummer Night's Dream, which is kind of the igniting event of this version of the JLA, although it does have a lot of stuff that's never been collected before. So I think it's pretty cool. All right, so first things first, let's go over paper quality. Like these old ones are the old school DC trades with the glossy paper. They're really nice, honestly. The build of these are phenomenal. I don't think anything could look better than on this type of paper. However, this ran for what, 10 issues maybe? Cost you 20 bucks back in the day. This is a couple years ago, probably, with that logo. Pre-pandemic, we'll call it, pricing. And this one is a lot thicker. Look, just incredible stuff. This one runs you for $50, although I will say you can get them much cheaper. I got this for 40% off on Amazon, of all places. I was about to order on In-Stock Trades, but Amazon said, I'll deliver today for 40% off, so I pulled the trigger. But yeah, so let's just look at the thickness of this thing. So the paper does add to the difference in thickness of these two books, honestly, from 9, call it maybe 10 issues here, to a whole lot more in this one. But there's a whole lot more collected in here, and I think that's why it's worth the pickup. Number one, you got this cover by Frank Quitely, which I'd never seen before. Love this cover. It's beautiful. Gorgeous. So what's in here? JLA 1 through 9, Secret Files and Origins number 1. That's everything that's in the old one, okay? In addition to all that, you have JLA WILDC.A.T.S number 1. I've never seen that before, along with never before been collected JLA Tomorrow Woman number 1, JLA 80-Page Giant number 1, JLA Annual number 1. They left the annuals out? Are you kidding me? And JLA Paradise Lost number 1 through 3, and JLA Gallery. So yeah, the last couple pages are just kind of pinups from a lot of artists. Here's a timeline of the different JLA teams in the chronology. That's pretty cool, like classic JLA, Justice League of America, Europe, International, into the current version in year 10, so to speak. And then these beautiful pinups by Phil Jimenez of just, here's members of the JLA, here's their villains. And this is all, I think, done before Morrison, right? Here's some Secret Files stuff in here. All done by different artists. But yeah, let's get to this stuff. Let's open it up. So it is collected a little bit differently too. Like, it has stuff is interspersed throughout where I think they thought it works well here. So you got the first story arc here, 1 through 4. That's the White Martian storyline that kicked it all off. Then you have JLA Secret Files and Origins. That's one story here. Actually, yeah, all these stories from Secret Files and Origins, number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have JLA WILDC.A.T.S number 1, which is written by Grant Morrison. And then you go JLA number 5, JLA Tomorrow Woman number 1, and then JLA 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then the 80-Page Giant after that. And then after the 80-Page Giant, again, 80 pages, you have Annual number 1, JLA Annual number 1, and then Paradise Lost 1 through 3. And then the Secret Files and Origins stuff at the end, after the art gallery. So, yeah. Here's JLA WILDC.A.T.S. Never seen this before. Grant Morrison, Val Zemeckis. I guess they can collect this now since WILDC.A.T.S is owned by DC, since Jim Lee sold, Wildstorm imprint. But this is so early on, there's no Wildstorm at all. It's just the Image Comics logo. Got Blue Superman, so this is probably, what, 96 or something like that this came out. Kid Flash here. Grifter. This girl is in Birds of Prey now. You got Majestic, I know him. What's her name? Zealot? I don't know the green guy. I've never read a bunch of Wildcats, so I'm interested to see if I'm going to pick up that compendium. They have a compendium of that coming out here in a month or two also. I may, just because I've never read it, and it looks kind of like 90s fun. I don't know. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Now we're back to the Howard Porter stuff. This is probably number 6 or 7, so yeah, Tomorrow Woman. This is the storyline with the key, the second story arc here, if you haven't read that. And then, yeah, this is the stuff with the angels. So there's a character called Zoriel that comes in here, and I had read, I think my first JLA trade paperback was World War III. It was the finale, of all things, of Morrison's run on JLA, and I had to learn who Zoriel was. So I think he first appears here, and then very quickly they go, there was another storyline called Paradise Lost, which is collected here. And that is written, I believe, by Mark Millar. Here's some Kevin McGuire art in here. That's cool. From the 80-page giant. A tornado. Some more Mark Millar. Let's go to the Zoriel story arc. Anyway, the Paradise Lost stuff, here's Gene Ha. Here you go. Is basically, I believe, I haven't read it, has something to do with Zoriel. It's got art by Ariel Olivetti, written by Mark Millar. That's cool. Early Ariel Olivetti, before he went all the CGI stuff. But I guess this is like more of an introduction to Zoriel, and it's got Blue Superman, so I don't think Blue Superman was around all that long in the actual JLA run, so I guess that's why they put it here as opposed to when it came out. I believe it came out a little bit after they got rid of Blue Superman. So here's your JLA gallery. This is where we get this cover by Frank Quitely, who, this is kind of like, you know, this is before Earth 2, right? Before he did that and before he developed his All-Star Superman style and everything. So this is a little different Frank Quitely than you've seen before. It kind of runs with what he did in the Earth 2 graphic novel, but I like that cover. And then a bunch of pinups in the back. So again, you could see why I picked this up. If they're going to do an all-inclusive JLA books, I will pick them up. I don't know if they're going to replace all of them. I guess we'll see one by one, but this has so much more stuff than this one that it just made it an easy pickup for me to, I don't know, go alongside this one. We'll see. We'll see how book 2 and 3 shape out. Can DC finish the books? You know what I mean? The JLA run ran for, what, 125, 130 issues? So they got a long ways to go if they're going to do one of these every year or something like that. Hopefully they can continue with it and just not stop in the middle of the run. And if they do, then I have the other trades. Like, we'll keep those. But yeah, this just has so much stuff in addition to the regular JLA stuff that I could not pick it up. Especially because I had stumbled upon the Paradise Lost miniseries, I think on Comixology a year ago, and was looking at that as like, what is this? I don't know what this is. So maybe these JLA books are going to be everything JLA that came out at the time, as opposed to just the Grant Morrison, Howard Porter run. So, there's good stuff in there sometimes. You never know. Everybody's capable of writing a good story. I will say though, this paper doesn't look too terrible. All right, let's find a comparison. Let's do that. I will say though, I do like the fact that they have like the first issue cover on here with the letterhead. That's cool. All right, let's do this side by side, so you can get a feel of what it looks like. So this is the old trade. This is the book. It's got all the indicia and who's writing it. I kind of like that. Got the classic DC Bullets logo, which is coming back. You got the names, who's on it, and then on the inside says cover art by. So they still leave everything on the inside, as opposed to this one has it on the back here. But yeah, it's not bad. Like, there's stuff missing. Obviously, you don't have the logo, so it's hard to say like which one's colored better. Honestly, I think they both look pretty good. I can't say. I think it's a matter of paper quality, which one you think looks better. But in terms of the coloring, like, let's go one more page in. to the White House here. I'll bend up my old trade paperback. You're welcome, guys. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same. I think the color is a little bit more brighter on the purple here than on this one. I probably can't tell too much because of the light, but it does lend a little bit more to be more colorful, like full of color, as opposed to this is maybe a little bit washed out, a little bit faded, but not much. Again, you're nitpicking here from this, like, go look at the Robin Compendium, the colors there versus here, and you're like, you're nitpicking, Brent. So yeah, I think whatever you want. If you want the new stuff, pick this up. I think it's worth it for the new stuff, especially if you can get at a really good discount. But if you got the omnibus or you got the old trades, you know, over to you. Your mileage may vary, but I thought this was a pretty good pickup for 40% off for all the additional material in here. So yeah, those are my thoughts on JLA Book 1. Just an overview. Haven't read it, so don't call it a review. But hope you guys enjoyed the peek at the book and the contents. We'll see you guys next time in the funny pages.